And now to this breaking news. Caster Semenya, South Africa's golden girl, and her legal team will keep fighting for the athlete's right to race in middle-distance events on her own terms. They're now heading for the European Court of Human Rights to lodge their latest challenge. Semenya is not racing in her favourite event, the 800 metres, because of the World Athletics regulations regarding testosterone levels. She's lost previous legal challenges at the Court of Arbitration and the Swiss Supreme Court. Semenya's lawyer, Nott, joins us now to talk about this matter. Good evening, and thank you very much for your time. We've been wondering about Caster's next move, so tell us all about it.
Good evening, Sally, and good evening to your viewers. Yes, we've got a number of strategies that we are discussing, and I'll say we are a number of lawyers around the globe. We've got lawyers in Canada and Switzerland, and in Johannesburg and Pretoria as a legal team, of which I am the helmsman. And basically what we're looking at is a further application to the European Court for Human Rights in Strasbourg, France. That is one of the strategies that we have thought about and discussed internally. There are others on a more local, jurisdictional, domestic basis, in that we may challenge where Caster runs, for instance, say in South Africa, where there is a progressive Bill of Rights and Constitution, and where the Constitution would clearly state that there would be no discrimination, and we would challenge it there on a local level. But we have discussed the European Court for Human Rights, and we are definitely discussing how best we go about bringing the application on her behalf. May I also add, Sally, that and to the viewers, that this comes from direct mandate from Caster. She's not down and out. She wants to continue to fight. This isn't a lawyer-driven or lawyer-run matter at all. It's Caster saying, I want to continue to fight. I want my dignity restored, and I want my professionalism enhanced and protected. So it really is Caster driving the process.
Well, she is a remarkable woman, it must be said, and it shows true grit. Now, you have been quoted, Nott, as saying that you were not, the Swiss federal court cases were difficult to win. You were not totally surprised that you didn't win there. Why do you think you might have a better chance of success at the European Court of Human Rights, and on what grounds?
The grounds will be human rights, and the main ground in human rights which are really looked at in the European Court for Human Rights, and one of them is equality before the law and anti-discrimination, which fits perfectly in regard to the regulations in Caster's case. The Court of Arbitration for Sport found that the regulations were indeed discriminatory, but proportionally they found that they were more supportive of other athletes than of Caster. So we believe that there would be a chance of success within the European Court for Human Rights. We have a team of academia, drawn from academia, which are top-notch and top class, and will also provide opinion. So we'll bolster our team in that regard. And we have a number of contracting parties, states, to the Convention for Human Rights in Europe, which hopefully will sway the thinking as opposed to 5 judges in the Swiss Federal Court.
So let's say she wins at the European Court of Human Rights. Does that reopen her career in her favourite races across the board? Or would you see, you've explained that you're fighting challenges on a micro level as well, but would this win in the European Court of Human Rights open everything up again for Caster if you win?
If we win, hopefully. Yes, hopefully. That's what we would be aiming for, the remedy to do exactly that. Of course, Sally, the strategy of a jurisdictional fight in terms of the European Court for Human Rights, or a local jurisdictional fight, is but one strategy. We have also other strategies insofar as Caster's ability to get back on the track. And in this regard, we are so well looked after by our own Gender Commission here in South Africa, our Human Rights Commission, who have been incredibly supportive in advocating Caster's case in all sorts of fora. We ourselves are preparing to go to our parliamentary sports portfolio to talk to them about it, and to see whether we can move this to the African Union for them to put it on their agenda. So there are a number of strategic initiatives which have been taken and considered as a legal team, and as a team not only legal but medical and scientific as well. So we have great support. And may I also add that the support comes from as you described, Caster, as our golden girl of South Africa. It comes from the viewers, from the public at large. So all encompassing, yes, the European Union is one, but we have a number of arrows in our quiver.
Well, that's great to hear. Very quickly, how soon will the matter come before the European Court of Human Rights? And when is Caster on the track again, in whatever race?
Sally, that is the big strategic decision that we've got to come to, because these matters take a long time. As you've seen with the Swiss Federal Court, it took about 9 to 10 months to get the judgment from an appeal that we lodged in November of last year. COVID notwithstanding, it was an extraordinarily long time. So we've got to have this in mind when we decide on how best we go forward, given the fact that the Tokyo Olympics are midway during the course of next year. And judgment then, of course, would take some time to come down. So we've got to strategically align ourselves as to all of these time frames. We will have to lodge as an application within a few months, which means hard work and dedication prior to that. May I also add, Sally, that we don't necessarily rely on finances from any particular source. So that initiative also has to be rallied and support garnered for the support of Caster to fight the case, which is an extraordinarily expensive, as you can imagine, matter in a European court.
Is there
one which?
Yes, sorry, carry
may
on.
I just add? No, not at all. That's one of the issues which I really have taken umbrage at. You know, we've had to go to the Court of Arbitration for Sport in Lausanne, one of the wealthiest cities in Europe and in the world. We've had to now then take the matter to a Swiss federal court, another expensive city in the world being Geneva. And here we are in the south, a young woman from arguably one of our poorer provinces, having to fight these very expensive cases. And I just find that in itself, the access to justice is denied runners and athletes such as Caster, fighting for what are very basic human rights.
Absolutely. Well, good luck to you, and let's hope that we see Caster on the track again soon. Thank you very much, Gregory Nott in Johannesburg. He, of course, is part of the legal team, heading up the legal team for Caster Semenya. She is going to continue her legal challenge, this time at the European Court of Human Rights, among other approaches.